We all have our crosses.
Yes. All right. So, follow up to the Social Security question and budget and such. I've been going to see all the Republican candidates, and they're talking about fixing debt by cutting Social Security, or getting rid of, where's the teacher, getting rid of the Department of Education. Yes, right. I would like to see some sort of cut in military spending. They want to increase it. What do you think?
Thank you. Because of these mindless sequester cuts, there have actually been a lot of cuts to our military. I believe that the thing that we should cut and that we can no longer afford is one very, very significant entitlement. And that is the entitlement that the super wealthy among us feel to pay a lower marginal rate and a much lower rate on capital gains than historically they have had. So, if we were to raise on millionaires and billionaires the marginal rates back to roughly equivalent of what they were in the first term of Ronald Reagan, we're at 45 or 50%. And if we were to tax capital gains at the same rate that we tax income from hard work and sweat and toil, that would generate, in a budget that spends about $3.2 trillion a year, that would generate $800 billion over the next 10 years. If we do that, then we would be able to return to our true self, rebuild our infrastructure, accelerate the movement to a 100% clean energy future. We'd be able to make college debt-free in a snap. We'd be able to have universal national service. And we'd also be able to make sure that none of our seniors ever retire into their golden years and have to live out in poverty. We could also eradicate childhood hunger in the United States. We could reduce infant mortality. We could cut deaths from guns in half. There's a lot of work to be done, but no people ever gave their children a safer, more prosperous, and more healthy future by making their country weaker. We need to make our country stronger. And I'll bet you there's a lot of Americans who are in that super wealthy stratosphere of millionaires and billionaires who'd be willing to do it because they love their country too.
So no cuts in military spending specifically?
There can, well sure. I mean, we should always look with openness and better openness and transparency in our military budget. But there's a whole new domain that we need to protect now. Just when we learned to protect land, sea, air, water, space, now we have cyber. And it's a very real and present danger. And we've had a lot of sequester cuts to military. I think we need to listen to what the experts in our military say that they need, rather than saddling them with obsolete weapon systems due to pork barrel politics and what the politicians saddle them with. There's probably a need for another round of consolidations of bases, probably bases in some places we no longer need, and probably bases in other places that we need to build up. Everything changes, and therefore our defenses have to change, our strategies have to change. But I don't believe that the solution here is necessarily a transfer from guns to butter. I think it's more fixing our revenue problem so that we have the ability to make our country safer and stronger and more opportunity all at the same time. Thank you. Yes, sir. What's your name? Doug.
Got it?